Welcome to another episode of Uncensored. Today, I want to speak to one of my friends who traveled from Ghana to the UK to study. I want us to look at her journey from Ghana to the UK in terms of having secured admissions to come and study in the UK. She came here on a scholarship as well, so I want us to delve into the scholarship that she's on, what comes with the scholarship, actually how she even obtained the scholarship to be able to help people out there who are looking to come and study in the UK. There are a lot of opportunities out there in terms of coming to the UK, either for work or for education. Today, I want us to focus on education so that a lot of you out there coming, intending to come to the UK to study for either undergrad or postgrad or whatever it is that you want to come to the UK to study for, you'll be able to get a lot of insight and support from this conversation. So, welcome to Uncensored, Melissa.
Thank you very much.
It's been a long time.
Yes, it's been very, very long.
The last time I saw you was in Ghana.
Yeah.
I haven't even seen you in the UK yet. This is my first time.
Schoolwork.
Schoolwork.
Can you blame me?
Okay.
But now I'm here, so you should be happy.
Yeah, I'm happy to have you on the podcast.
Okay.
It's interesting to have friends, like you on, and then having other issues to discuss beyond friendship, and it's quite nice to have you.
Yeah. Thank you so much for having me here. And it's a pleasure to also share what I've been through and the things I've done to help people as well.
Okay, so let's go back to the basis. I want us to look at things from the beginning.
Okay.
What did you study in Ghana? Or I think you have a first degree already, isn't it?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so tell us about your background in terms of education. Where did you start schooling from in Ghana? Even if you can go back as far as SHS, I would appreciate that. So give us a bit of background to you in terms of your educational journey. Then we will fast forward to you having applied to come and study in the UK, and then the details involved.
Okay, so my basic education was at Crown Prince Academy at La Paz in Accra, and I continued to Wesley Girls High School where I studied science. After Wesley Girls, I went to Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology to study BSc Computer Engineering. After that, I started working. I did my national service at Huawei on the Vodafone project, and just meandered my way through. I was at Black Ivy, and after Black Ivy, I moved to school to do my master's.
Okay, so when you finished your education in Ghana, did you at any point, come to realize that, look, I want to further my education abroad? Or was it just something that just happened to you? Or you made a decision and said, look, I want to further my education abroad, and then that perhaps led to you being involved in all these visas and scholarships and stuff. How did it start for you?
Okay, so in university, I never thought of doing my master's immediately. I always wanted to have an working experience before any master's. But after going through the working industry, the corporate industry, I didn't really move from computer engineering into the tech field directly. After Huawei, I had to go through a lot of commercial and all that. So I found a passion somewhere. I realized I wanted to bridge something. So I decided to further my education, so do my master's course. Then I can come back directly with like a specific career path. So that's how I started my master's research. Yeah.
Okay, so when you sort of started the research, you seem to have defined the academic field you wanted to enter.
Yes.
So you were sure you wanted to go into this particular sort of career, and therefore you would define the field in regards to that.
Yeah.
What about the country? How did you choose the UK? Why did you decide to come and study? You could have gone to Finland, Germany, America, or you could have focused on Canada, any of these countries, yet you chose the United Kingdom. What was the driving factor? Why did you decide to come and study in the UK?
Okay, first of all, I love the UK. No doubt. I have family members there, so it's one thing that drove me there. And my lecturer at the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, he was a student, an alumni from University of Kent. So, I mean, with discussions and everything, he informed me about the UK having a world-class education system. And also, I know, yes, obviously the UK has a very great education system. So I just decided to venture into that. And my mentor as well also finished from university in the UK, so that actually compelled me to do my master's in the UK.
Okay, all right. So when you decided that the country is going to be UK, how then did you research the schools? Because, for instance, there are several universities in the UK. Were you pairing the course to the institutions, or what was the driving force here? You would have to be able to, sample a lot of these institutions, then realize that, look, this is where I want to go, and these are the reasons. So I want to be able to ascertain why you chose the particular institution that you attended or you are attending. Give us the name of the institution or the university. Then we'd have to perhaps look at the factors you considered in order to be able to arrive at the conclusion that, look, this is the university I want to actually go to.
Okay, so my aunt went to the University of Warwick, and I knew her career path, and I've seen her work, and it actually motivated me to do more. So University of Warwick was one of the schools on my list. And also there are sites like the Edu Universal. You go there and actually put your courses in there, and it will give you the ranking of the schools as well.
Okay, so you were using the university rankings?
Yes, I used the university ranking, and because I knew someone from the University of Warwick as well, it was my first choice. And I did a lot of research. I actually go onto their websites to read more about it and how it tallies or correlates with what I want to do. So just lots of research, basically.
So in terms of the universities and your applications, did you just apply to one university, like University of Warwick, as you said, or did you apply to multiple universities? And what was the outcome of those applications?
Okay, so I actually, it wasn't only University of Warwick, because I think we'll get there. I use a scholarship system, and we need 3 schools. Okay. So I actually did 3. I applied to 3 schools. That's University of Warwick, Imperial College London, and the Lancaster University. And when I used the Edu Universal link, it actually showed the 3 schools that are ranking in my course, which is e-business management. University of Warwick was number 1, luckily, because I still wanted to go there.
Okay.
And number 2 was Imperial College London, and the 3 was Lancaster. So this was just a motivating factor for me as well.
Okay, so this conversation is going to be in terms of structure, would be some sort of 2-layer conversation, because you're going to talk about education, and then we're going to talk about the scholarship aspect of it. So at what point did you start looking at scholarships? Was there at a point that you were applying to universities, or at the time that you were deciding as to, I want to go and study in the United Kingdom, what options do you have? So I want to be able to understand at what point you started looking at scholarships, what sort of scholarships did you evaluate, which ones did you make applications to, which ones were successful, and then perhaps take us through the processes of having applied for these scholarships, or the sort of research you did put in to be able to get any of the scholarships. Okay,
so I started, I think, at the end of 2019, like the last quarter. That's where I actively started, because it gets to a point you feel like you need to add onto the skill set that you have. So the first thing I saw was on Instagram. I was just browsing through, and I saw one of my seniors have been chosen for Chevening. I can't keep calm. I was like, wow, what's Chevening? I didn't even know about it. So I like to research a lot. So I just went online to search for Chevening. I was like, okay, this is it. So I knew I had to apply to schools and also go through the Chevening journey before I get it as well. So
from what you're saying, you just focused on one scholarship, the Chevening.
That's it, because at that moment I didn't have funds, so scholarship was my go-to.
So this is somebody who wants to go and study in the United Kingdom, but she has no money.
Yes.
Okay, so that's a very interesting dream.
Yes, so I needed to go through that route. So I went there, and I actually applied, and I wasn't shortlisted for an interview, so I forgot about it. But I was like, oh, okay, there's Ghana scholarship. Let me just go through that one as well. I went through the necessary procedures and everything, but I wasn't hearing much, and I was like, wow, this thing is really tough.
So let's go back to the Chevening scholarship.
Yeah.
when you submitted an application, what was involved? Because even though you said you were not shortlisted, you must have gone through the processes to be able to be expecting that, look, they ought to shortlist me. So how did you actually come to apply? I want somebody watching this to be able to also look, I'm going to go here first, go to the website, write this. What was the detail of this journey to applying for the scholarship?
So because it was my first time, I didn't do much research, and Chevening requires a lot of research and a lot of digging and a lot of talking to people, so I just started writing the essay without knowing.
So you are required to write an essay?
Yes. So you're required to write 4 essays, one on career, one on networking, one on leadership and influence, and one in studying in the UK. And each essay has to be 500 words.
Okay, so is that the limit?
That's the limit to it, yes. So you go through an eligibility criteria, like that's where they sift people. So if you're not able to apply, cross all your T's, dot all your I's, and make sure you have all your things in there.
So the initial stage is for them to assess your essays.
Exactly.
And then be able to say, look, this person can proceed or not.
Exactly.
But somebody will just let people write the essays for them, isn't it?
Exactly. Okay. People do that.
All
but
right. I'm not saying don't go and do that. I'm just saying that it seems quite easy that somebody will say, look,
people do that, but there's a way of seeing all that. So
okay. All right. So don't attempt at all.
Exactly. You need to be genuine, very consistent as well.
All right.
So in the beginning, they sift looking at the eligibility criteria. Then they do the short listing for the interview. That's in like February, because normally the deadlines is the year before in November. So
so you're saying you have to apply before November each year? Before
November. Mostly it's around November, say like first week in November, second week in November. It's even open now. So the deadline, I think, is on 2nd November. You should check the Chevening website to confirm. Yes. So they do the interview. Then after the interview, I think that's around March, April.
So are you saying anybody who submits the essays would get interviewed, or the shortlisted people from the essay stage are those who are going to get interviewed? So how does that work?
So after the eligibility criteria, they do the shortlisting for the interview. Like they look through the essays.
Okay, so then they pick you based on the essay.
Exactly, they pick you based on the essays. So those who get there move to the interview stage.
Right.
So the interview starts from like March, April, May, and after that, people start receiving conditional offers in June. If you don't receive
you went through the interview stage, isn't it?
Yes, I went through the interview. So the first time it wasn't, but the second time, yes, I went through the interview stage.
So you applied twice?
Twice. I got Chevening on my second try.
Oh, so the first try, what happened? Nothing, you didn't hear
anything? I didn't hear anything. I was like, I think they sent a message, oh, you've not been chosen, blah, blah, blah,
and blah. That was it. And which year was this?
And that was, I applied in 2019 last quarter, but I got the email in February 2020.
So that's the one saying that you did not get it.
Exactly.
Okay. And you didn't give up. You went again the next year.
Yes, I went again the next year.
All right. So you must have learned a lot from the first
I think that was 2018, 2019, and I think the second try was 2019, 2020.
2020.
Yes.
All right. So somewhat so from what you've said, it seems that your first attempt must have aided you a lot in actually getting the scholarship on your second attempt, because you must have learned from your mistakes.
Exactly.
And then be able to say, look, I need to focus on this aspect of the journey, and then forget this gibberish, this doesn't matter, and all that kind of stuff. So you go to the interview stage, you said, and then you were interviewed.
Yes.
What sort of questions are asked at this interview, or what is the interview like? Is it something that people should get worried about, or do they have to actually delve into a lot of research, or what is the interview about?
To me, interview was the easiest for me, because I mean, once you get through the essay stage, you're done. You just have to know, you wrote it yourself, so you know what you would say when they ask you a question. So this is where the problem is,
if somebody wrote it for you.
Exactly.
So are they going to interview based on the contents of your essay?
Mostly on the content. It might not be the same questions you're expecting. They might ask it in a different format. So you need to be smart.
The research.
Yes, you need to be smart and just give them the answers they want. You can expand on it. You can add new things, because you wrote your essay the year before.
So things
There are
must
new
have changed.
things, yes. So you could add to it, but just make sure you're telling similar or the same story.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
So how long did the interview last, if you can remember?
Okay, so mostly people had like 40 minutes,
Okay.
30 minutes, but I had 16 minutes.
16.
Yes,
1
16
6.
minutes, 1 6.
Why? Were you just bombing, or the person was so impressed that look?
So
the person said,
I
"Okay,
remember when
it's
I
enough."
came out, so one of my the former chief scholar, she said, "Wait, 60 minutes." Wow, she was worried because like, wow, okay,
That's too short.
Yeah, that's too short. And one of my colleagues still had like 18 minutes. So like, okay, maybe I just gave all the answers they wanted at that point. So it really depends. It doesn't matter if it's 40 or 18. You just have to know that you gave the right
All right.
answers.
So then, following the interviews, what then happens next?
Yeah, so after the interviews, you just need to wait for them to...
So that's where the waiting games.
Exactly, and it's very, very nerve-wracking at that
Okay.
point because you don't know what you have to do, you know? You're just waiting. So at that point, they send out letters. Mostly, sometimes they send out those who didn't get the award first, and you can also get good news as well. So, I mean, around June, that's when the letters keep coming. That's the conditional offer
Okay.
of your final award letter. Yeah.
Okay. So you got a letter saying you've been selected.
Yes, I
All
got
right.
that.
And then at that stage, would you have gotten admission already, or was it a stage that you were going to start making applications to the university, or you were doing those two things concurrently? You were applying for the scholarships and you were applying for the universities. What was happening?
Yes, so I think before I did the Chevening application, I think I had Warwick already, but for the other two I didn't have them, and even for Warwick it was a conditional offer. Yes, because I hadn't paid my fees.
Okay.
So yeah, so the other two I hadn't applied, and mostly you can even apply without applying to the schools.
Okay.
Because they need an unconditional offer in July. Okay, so
when you
the
get your
next
scholarship
year,
offer, then you can use that to actually start making the university
that is
application.
if your school has more slots for you.
Okay, all right.
So you need to be researching, you need to be on the guard, looking at your schools. So for me, it was Imperial College in Lancaster that I hadn't. And Imperial College London is a very thorough, like they have a thorough process. So I was doing them concurrently. You don't really need to apply to your schools before you do your Chevening, but just make sure you read and find out how it's going to be or how long it will take.
So once you've gotten the Chevening scholarship, what does it come with? What is the package like? What are the conditions? Because to get a scholarship there must be certain terms and conditions. So can you take us through some of the packages that come with the scholarship and then the terms of the scholarship as well? So when you got the letter, did it come with all these details as to what a package would entail, how much they are going to give you in terms of tuition, how much they are going to give you in terms of pocket money or stipends? Give us an overview of the package. Then we also look at the terms and conditions of the scholarship.
Yeah, Chevening is it's very thorough. They are very particular, so they will give you all the information you need, everything on their website. So the package, there's a monthly stipend. There's
so how much is the monthly stipends at the moment?
Well, it depends. For those in London, I think they get 1,001 something. So I'm not so sure.
1,001 every month.
Yes, every month.
Free money. Ghanaians, have you heard me? Nigerians, have you heard me? Free money, 1,100. The government is saying, look, go and study and take this money as well and enjoy yourself whilst you study.
But I think those in London, like 1,002, 1,003 or so, is way more than those outside London because
so
obviously London is expensive.
So you are the ones getting the 1,100.
Yeah, we are outside London,
so that's the one you are using for shopping and
accommodation and everything.
Oh, so you have to use some.
Exactly, they don't give a separate package for accommodation.
Right, so the 1,001, your rent would be like £300.
Yeah, 400
or £400, £500. You will still have enough money as a student.
Exactly, enough money. You just have to make sure you utilize it.
So
well.
apart from the
you get
monthly stipends, what then is?
You get a travel arrival allowance. When you get to the UK, you get an allowance.
How much is that?
About 600 and something.
That is below it, as you've just
yes.
arrived. Okay.
Then there's a departure allowance.
Okay, so when you finish your studies and you're going, they give you departure. How much is the departure allowance?
It should be 100 and some. I haven't watched.
£100.
Yeah, I think it's 100 something pounds.
These guys are cheeky from 600 arrival to departure.
Well, so I'm sure every year will have their own thing. So you check that. And there's the achieving events, so they give allowance for that. I think that's 90 something. Because of COVID, we didn't really do a lot of face-to-face events, a lot of virtual, but it's now that you're doing some face-to-face. And there's arrival, departure, monthly, and that one, for the events.
So then, once you've gotten the scholarship offer, I guess at that stage, tuition is being taken care of because the scholarship is paying full tuition, isn't it?
Exactly.
You would then send the scholarship letter to the university. The university is then going to issue you with a CAS. Then you proceed to apply for the visa. Right, which obviously, if you are being sponsored, it's quite easy. But then you still have to go through interview for the visa, the entry clearance. How was that interview as well? Because I know as a lawyer, mostly they will call you over the phone or via Skype, and then they will ask you ample questions as to why you want to study in the UK. What was your entry clearance student visa interview like?
So first of all, Warwick is a partnered institution for achieving in. So there are some schools that pay, I think the school has to pay like 20% or 80%. Then Warwick pays the other part. But Warwick paid my whole fees. So Chivine was just giving me my monthly stipend and other things. And Warwick is a pilot school. So I didn't do any interview. I didn't do any interview for the visas, but some schools do the interview. So one thing I would say,
I'm talking about when you apply for the visa, did they call you for an interview?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. For the visa, they never called me for an interview. I just had to submit my documents because apparently, like the Russell Group, the pilot scheme schools, you don't do the interview. So that was but some schools did it. All right. Actually.
So then you got a visa. Then what else?
Yes.
Did you have to buy your own plane ticket or the scholarship?
Oh, I forgot that. There's a plane ticket in and out.
Business class?
Economy.
I thought you were flying business.
Well, the main thing is I got to the UK.
So doesn't matter. It's good. Somebody's paying for you freely to come to the UK.
I'm telling you would take that.
Even if they put you where they put the luggage.
Oh my God, you jump in, go and finish and come.
Okay, all right. So then your plane ticket was paid for?
Yes.
So once you are in the UK, are you giving some money, for instance, if you want to visit family back home, or if you want to go back home and on a short visit, do you have to pay for yourself, or there is some sort of package for that?
You have to pay for yourself.
Okay, all right. So they don't make no accommodation for a visit.
Their interest is you going in and you coming in. And once you get there, like your whole life is revolved around them as well. Like they need to be in your space as well because they are taking care of you in the UK.
So when you say they need to be in your space, well, are they checking on you regularly?
Yeah, they do check up on you regularly. Like they send you newsletters every month. If you have anything you want to talk about, you get to them. And there's also...
But it's not that they're coming to your house to check you.
No.
If you're partying or studying.
Oh, no.
They don't have that time.
They just have this, I think, leave kind of days for you within a year.
Okay.
Yes.
Where you can travel out.
Yes, that you can travel out. But yeah, that's basically
all right.
it.
So now you've gotten the scholarship, you've gotten admission, you've gotten the visa, you've gotten free plane tickets, you've gotten to the UK yourself.
Yeah.
And when you got here, fine, you used to come here a lot before coming here to study. But at least this is the first time you started studying in a UK institution. How did you find the whole experience?
Oh my God, I think our batch is a different batch because COVID hit us so hard. Oh my God.
Yeah, COVID
but I think we really fought through it. We really fought through it. It's been the virtual learning experience. I mean, I have always been an advocate for flexible learning, flexible working. So it wasn't a big deal to me. And having experienced this virtual learning, I think face-to-face is also... important. I think it's also important because having experienced that side, I think face to face, just a little element of it. Yes, and the whole experience has been good because the tutors, especially in my department, in my school, they are awesome.
So in terms of support, that's what you're saying.
In terms of support, if you have any issue, if you need any clarification, you can go as many times as you want. That doesn't mean you should abuse it, but like, yeah, as many times as you want, you can go to them. They're there for you, and that makes it very special. And even it's not all about the learning as well. There's a lot of soft skills you can get from there, and that's the most important, I think.
What I want to know is, I didn't attend university in Ghana. I have no university experience in terms of Ghana. I went to all my universities here. You attended a university in Ghana, and you've done one here. Of course, this one is under COVID, and therefore you would not have experienced a lot of classroom and university activities. But in terms of general support and perhaps flexibility to studies, academic work, where do you find the balance? Do you think it's quite more relaxed here compared to Ghana? There is a lot of anxiety, stress in education when you look at Ghana, or it's more here than perhaps people would think when you compare it in terms of what you've had in Ghana and then what you've experienced here as well?
I mean, in a general sense, here is the support is really great compared to Ghana.
Okay.
Because your tutors are readily available, and there are lots of resources online you can jump in. But then again, I did 4 years in Ghana. I did 1 year here. It's really intense here. Like 1 year, like there are lots of things you have to do within a year. I think it was even more than undergrad.
Okay.
And one thing I also want to say is I did computer engineering. Some people did social science. So maybe they would have a very vast difference when it comes to the UK. For computer engineering, as I mentioned, one of my lecturers, he had the British education here. So he kind of incorporated certain things in our class. So like tenanting and all that, we had a fair idea. Doing group work, we had a fair idea. But so, yes, I see some changes. I see some differences in terms of support and other things. But when you talk about the general sense in Ghana, is way better than in Ghana.
Okay, all right. So you've told us about the packages that come with the scholarship.
Yeah.
Now we want to look at the terms and conditions. So what are some of the terms? I'm told that one of the major terms of the scholarship is that after studies, you have to return back home.
Yes.
And are there other things, or explain that aspect of the terms to me?
Yes. So there's a part and people don't really like to talk about. So after your studies, you need to return for at least 2 years
before you can come back to the UK.
Exactly. I mean, I think you can visit.
You can visit, yeah,
but you can't come and work
so
there.
This means that the current postgrad visa granted after studies for 2 years for people who have completed schools in the people who have completed universities in the UK to work, you cannot take advantage of this scheme, isn't it?
Yes, apparently we can't.
Yeah, because you promised that, look, after studies I'm coming back home.
Exactly. In all your essays you put that there, and and the whole point of the Achievement Scholarship is to help developing countries. So
you finish the studies, you go back home to help your people.
Yes.
That is the sort of, agreement you would have to have with them.
Exactly.
Or that is the basics, or that is the fundamental reason
for the scholarship. So you need to go back.
Okay, all right. So apart from that major term, what else? Are there other terms that you think people ought to know about this scholarship if they want to actually apply for it?
I mean, that's the main one that it's hard to navigate through. So, I mean, basically.
Okay, so with you, at what stage are you with your education? When are you going back to Ghana? What have you put in place when you go to Ghana? What are you going to do? What is the plan, the bigger picture? Give us an overview as to from now till you finish your course, or from now till the next 1 year, what are you going to be involved in?
Okay, so at the moment I'm working on my dissertation, so that's really.
And what is your dissertation about?
So building consumer trust on e-commerce platforms.
Okay.
In Ghana
in Ghana, Tonaton people, you are. How are you going to build trust?
Because consumer trust. I mean, a lot of Ghanaians, let me settle on Ghanaians. Like, people find it hard or are skeptical to buy things online or transact online because of a lot of reasons, including security, privacy, and maybe delivery fees and all that. So we're trying to find how we can understand from their perspective, that's the consumers, and see how we can help SMEs to leverage on what they want, so that the consumer trust will shoot up.
Okay, all right. So that's what you're working on in terms of dissertation.
Yes.
All right. When are you supposed to submit this dissertation?
By September.
So when are you finally looking to chip up from the UK?
By the end of the year, I should be off.
And then when you go back to Ghana, what is the plan? Because you are stuck for the next 2 years.
So at the moment, I'm just checking one or two things to see how best I can also contribute to my society.
So are you looking to go back to employment, or you're looking to set up something, entrepreneurship? What is the plan, even if it's not well shaped at the moment?
It's not well shaped, but just to go back to corporates basically, and also have my own side gig. So basically that's it.
Okay. All right. So before we end the conversation, I want you to take this opportunity to advise anyone looking to apply for university to come and study in the UK, or looking for scholarships to actually come and study freely in the UK. What sort of advice would you give to any individual contemplating this sort of journey?
Yes. So the first thing is, go for what you want. Just don't sit back waiting for somebody to help you go and study somewhere else, and ask questions. Ask the right questions to the right people. Ask lots of questions. Utilize LinkedIn very, very well. Okay, go on, search for Chevening. You find a lot of people in the Chevening community or Commonwealth, wherever. Ask them questions. They will direct you, and don't expect to be spoon fed. Okay, go the extra mile and research, read. Don't leave things out, and just do you. Be yourself, be consistent, be persistent, and work hard. You will get there.
All right. Thank you very much, Melissa.
Thank you, Vincent. It was nice talking.
Hello, my name is Jackie Apia. Are you in the UK in need of immigration help? Do you want to relocate to the UK legally? Or do you want to renew your stay in the UK or regularize your stay? If the answer is yes, then Aduku Solicitors is a London-based law firm with a team of experts who can help you now. Call the numbers on the screen and you'll be smiling soon.